Sure. I think one of the key things is always try and show the workings behind your designs. So if you've done a logo, did you sketch it before you did the logo? If so, then show us those sketches, show us your thinking behind the design. Because that's where we can see, how you develop something from start to finish. And, the finished article may be not what you thought you were going to start with, but at least we can understand, your process and how you got there. And that's a really key thing as an employer and as a manager to see how you work and how you get from start to finish. So that's one thing. The second thing is don't show work that you're not proud of and that you don't believe in. Some people, when they come in and talk to me, they show me a piece of work and they say, oh, I did this a few years ago and I'm not really that fond of it and I don't really like what I did here and I don't like what I did there. If you're not fond of it, then don't show me. You need to be positive about your work and enthusiastic about what you've done. If you're presenting something that the client wants and it's not something that you maybe conceived was the correct direction, then show me potentially what the other version was that you produced and tell me why the client didn't like it, but what your thoughts were and how you tried to turn it around and convince the client. But obviously the client's paying money at the end of the day and they want what they want. So in terms of the websites I like to see a diverse range really. Have you done a website that's quite modern feeling and linearized, or have you done one that's responsive? Have you done one that's more textured and creative? How many different ways have you done certain things? So it's always good to know you're not just a designer that can only do modern trends. You could also do something that's not just trend, but something outside of that. So the work itself, you always want to make it as clean and as polished as possible. No spelling mistakes, that's always a pet hate of mine. And little annotations of why you've done something, what was this for? Was it an app? What was it trying to do? A little bit about the brief would be a good idea. So tell me about the user that's coming to the website. If it's an e-commerce website, who's the user targeting? Who's the target audience? And what are you trying to reflect on the website? I think work that stands out to me is where you have a really beautiful clean shot of a piece of work that you like. But also underneath that or next to it, you have a focused, zoomed in area of the detail that goes into it, and you can really see, the depth of the work there. You can see the full holistic big picture, but you can also see the minutiae of your work and the quality that you go down to. Keep your portfolio as diverse as possible. If you use sketching or illustration, then always try and add that into the portfolio. And I think where you can, bring a bit of personality into it, whether that be the tone of voice or the creative that you use or the sort of website portfolio that you have. Try and add a bit of personality and tone to it. I think I like to hire people that are passionate about what they do and enthusiastic, and as well as that, I like people that are interested in their industry, so they tell me about trends, they can tell me about different people that I might not have heard of that are writing blogs or up to date with magazines, and it's really that kind of passion and enthusiasm for the industry that I always look for. I think design trends is really about interaction and giving across a feeling on a website. So it's no longer the case where you have a flat image and a flat message and a flat JPEG and just things that you're not interacting with. Now it's about personality, it's about the emotion. What does it feel like when you roll over something? What does it feel like when you enter a form? What does the tone of voice say to you? And how does it try and connect with you rather than just being, a computerized website that has no personality?